So let's begin with Matthew, uh, with with John chapter 15. And Jesus is the genuine vine, the disciples are the branches. And so the 15th chapter is a part of the upper room discourse. Although our Lord probably did not speak it in the upper room, at least the assumption is that he did not, because the last segment in chapter 14 is arise, let us go hence. Somewhere between the upper room and the Garden of Gethsemane, our Lord spake the words found in chapters 15 and 16. Then prayed the prayer recorded in 17 as he entered the garden. It has been the belief of many expositors that our Lord gave this chapter in a discourse down in the valley of Kidron, or on the side of the Mount of Olives, because we know that at that time there was a vineyard in that area which covered that valley. We also know that it was a full moon because it was the time of the Passover. He may well have spoken these words as they walked through the vineyard. It would have been an appropriate place. Another suggestion has been made by several English expositors, and it is the one that I accept, which is J. Vernon McGee, that night he went by the temple, following the law as he so meticulously did. The gates would have been opened during the Passover night. Those beautiful gates of the temple were actually a tourist attraction. They had been forged in Greece, floated across the Hellespont, and then brought to Jerusalem and placed in Herod's temple there. The gates were made of bronze, and wrought into them was a golden vine. That the vine symbolizes the nature of Israel is apparent from the following verse. In it's thou uh, though thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt, thou hast cast out the heathen and planted it. Thou preparest room before it, and didst cause it to take deep root, and it filled the land. That's Psalms 80, verses 8 and 9. Now will I sing to my well beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My well beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill, and he uh, fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof and planted it with choice vines and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein, and looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. That's Isaiah chapter 5, verse 1, 2, and 7. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? Jeremiah 2 and 21. Israel is an empty vine, he bringeth forth fruit unto himself. Hosea 10 and verse 1. It is clear that the vine is a picture of the nation of Israel. Now, friend, our Lord is saying one of the most revolutionary things these men have heard. It sounds familiar to us today, but it is strange.